Welcome to Strange Tales from Outer Space, episode 30. Thank you, everybody. It's another Sunday, and let's be honest, everyone's probably watching who's going to win the bet between Chris Pratt and Chris Evans instead of watching us.
Indigo, why do you look like that right now?
I may have turned the volume on, and then the video on, and he may have started the speech while the video was off. So
it's fine. I just saw it happen on the stream. It looked very good. It looked super professional.
Didn't
Let's
we
not
just
even
go
bring
over
it up.
this like 5 minutes prior?
Shut the hell up! Continue with the show. Let's start this shit.
Anyway, every week, the four of us, we go over the week that was, the week that might be in WildStar. As always, I have my other hosts, Indigo
Hey,
and Krug.
And I'm second this week for no reason.
it's always random.
It's always random. There's only
Nope,
three.
I'm always first.
More
Ugh.
importantly, quiet.
Okay.
More importantly, we have a guest with us this week, and she is an artist. She's a creative director. She is probably one of the more prominent faces in the community. If you've seen her work, you know what we're talking about. This week we have Fusspot.
Woo!
Oh,
Oh, people can see me clapping now. That's weird.
I look stupid when I clap.
I do. I just wanted to get it near my mic so people
Yeah,
can.
like this.
yay!
Fusspot. Anyways.
Anyways.
Fusspot, how was your week this week?
It was boxes, lots of boxes. We're moving house, and oh my God, it's a good thing we didn't. It was delayed by a week, because otherwise we'd be moving a truck today.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Right now, I'm looking at about a foot or a foot and a half of snow outside my window.
Oh, I
And-
thought we were just talking about Super Bowl problems.
You can't say that word. You know that, right? You contractually cannot say that word.
We
Problems?
legally have to technically owe them money if they come calling for it.
Yeah.
You!
You're the one that causes this
I
problem.
didn't know that. I'm sorry. What should I call it?
The,
Egg handball.
Sporting event.
the
Can I call it
colonial,
sporting event? Sports
colonial
ball?
final extravaganza.
I'm gonna call it sports ball from now on.
Sports ball. Yay, sports ball.
I will say I did see your post on Twitter of how you gave up on naming boxes. It was fucking hilarious. It was like books, probably more books, dry shit. Like it was.
Yeah, I gave up.
When I saw that, I just started laughing so much. I legitimately laughed out loud when I saw that.
Could be bees.
Oh man, I really. So you guys just getting a bigger place? Are you guys moving for work or what?
We're actually moving into a smaller place. It's a whole big to do with this house that we're in right now. So we're moving to an apartment, and we're moving actually to my old neighborhood, which is going to be great because then I can go to all the old places I used to go to and just be comfortable again. Because right now we're in the northwest side of Chicago, and there is nothing to do out here.
Oh, nice. So you're a Chicago native.
Yes, I am.
Cool.
Yep, I've been here my whole life, and all the snowstorms that have come with it.
I remember seeing that picture of you. I think you posted it after I did on Twitter. I posted a picture on one of our friends saying, "Oh, it's so horrible on the East Coast." And I went, "Yeah, sure, right." Click. It's like 75 degrees at 9 o'clock in the morning with nary a drop of water in sight.
Trust
And
me.
you come up and go, "Really?"
Trust me, I felt that. I felt that 75 degrees.
Yes, you did. Speaking of which, Indigo, how was your week this week?
I don't know if you guys noticed this awesome necklace I have on right now. Yeah, I finished my first half marathon today. Yeah, I'm very proud of myself. I'm so happy. It's a cool. It's actually like design wise, it's really cool. It's a little like wooden surfboard with like a little metal like Surf City half marathon. You're awesome. Good job. You actually made it past the finish line without passing out. Yay.
You came in first.
You know what? You tried this joke earlier.
participation
You finished before everyone else? That's insane. How did you do that? What was your time? 3 minutes for a half marathon? Whoa.
My
You're such a beefcake.
my time was not great. My time was 4 hours for 13.1 miles. So That's what my opinion is to you, Krug. I don't...
And he tells me like 2 days ago, hey, there's still time to sign up. Are you gonna sign up for the half marathon? I'm like, hell
No. I was trying to get you to do what we're doing in March, which is Tough Mudder. There's a difference. That is 12 miles and 21 obstacles. This was just 13.1 miles straight.
So it's like almost a half marathon, except for the whole way you're getting like electrically shocked and like drowned and like all these other things. It's great. It's wonderful. I don't know why anybody would.
In the name of science or comedy, but not for self-improvement.
That's pretty much how it works.
So, anyways, I did that, and then in game, that's out of game. In game, I'm doing a ton of PvP this week because I'm 50 and I love the PvP. And then we got the awesome PvP news, which we will talk about coming up. But that's about it for me. Krug, I think you're next.
I am next.
First off, what happened to the creature that lived on your chin?
The creature that lived on my chin is gone, and the creature that lived on my head is gone. I now have smooth hair. Although probably most of these people don't know what I looked like before, so that's not really a huge thing for them. This is just what I look like to them. So I got a haircut. That's exciting. I didn't actually play a single video game this week because my company was doing something called inventory. And if you don't work for a company that has to do something like this, it's basically where you count every single thing you own. That's it. It was exhausting. We had to work long hours, and that's it. My week was boring. Don't even look at me. Just your turn.
So we know Krug and I work for the same company. Ask him how many things I had to count.
How many things did Indigo have to count, Krug?
Indigo was exempt. He was part of the group of exempt employees because they had to keep the company running or something like that.
That sounds like
actually
a
doing
bullshit
anything.
excuse.
He was sitting there on his computer updating queue times the whole time. That's literally all.
Oh no!
That's probably Hearthstone. Like those are probably
No Hearthstone. But I was definitely making sure queue times was up to date because it's my huge priority of 2015 is keeping that website up and alive and running.
Yeah.
Yeah, my God, that sounds like some BS right there. Anyway, my week, when we found out that Fusspot had to come on.
Will.
And now she left the show. So
What? Screw this. Once Fusspot
Later,
agreed to come on to
losers.
the show. Once she agreed to come on, I'm like, you know what? I haven't drawn anything in a while. I've been doing a lot of graphic design. And I'm like, I want to draw something again because it's really cool. I have this thing where when I see other really good artists, I want to make sure that I still have it, and I want to like be as comparable to them. Unfortunately, that meant that my little this guy right here, my ever faithful, tiny 4x6 bamboo tablet that's lasted me since my daughter was born in 2010, officially and finally died today. And that sucks butt. So. But on the bright side, it made me get back my sketchbook and bust it out and draw for fun, and I realized, oh my God, I'm way out of practice. It's really bad. Other than that, in game, I joined Drunken Alchemy from the chat, and I joined Indigo, and we did a little bit of PvPing one night. And Drunken Alchemy and I had a ton of fun dying repeatedly. And Indigo was just laughing at us.
I believe the conversation was that you guys had a romantic moment, the two of you dying next to each other.
There's a really funny moment where like my Granok died, and he's like, oh, and right next to it, like a second or two later, her character looks like it's cuddling me. So the entire time she's just joking about death cuddles. It's just this little orange curled up like a dead animal is right next to this giant hunk of rock.
That's well.
It was great because we
fun.
were tweeting back and forth about it, and then it was like Drunken Alchemy was like, oh yeah, me and Doc had a moment, and I was like, what the hell? I wasn't in there. I wasn't having fun. I wasn't like, well, we weren't dying next to each other, so I'm like, well, yeah.
We didn't have any gear on, because we were, at least in my case, I was a fresh 50 warrior, and that's a different experience of being a spell slinger at 50, because I have was on my spell slinger at the very least, so I can handle it. Going in fresh with little to no gear, it's still one of the few games that I don't get mad at when I go like 1-7 in a Walatiki battle. I think it's funny, and I'm sitting there. The only hard part was I was always just out of melee range. Just always out of melee range. Anyway, that was my week this week.
So his week was a week of just out of melee range.
So Fusspot, it is your turn. How was your week this week?
You're
Let's find
silly.
Get
She's moving. Remember?
Yes.
Oh,
Went through
I
this.
told you guys.
Oh,
I will say this is not the first time Indigo has done this. I think
And
our
I-
second guest. And
I
it
will tell
still
you
is
this.
The episode.
I will tell you this will not be the last.
He's just so excited to hear from you that he wants you to say it again.
I'm excited. I fanboyed over you. Once Moose introduced me, I kind of fanboyed. But we'll get into me being a total fanboy later. I think Doc gets to do his favorite part of the show, which is
the strange tales of the week.
God, I hate you.
Yeah. I know.
Enthusiasm for things. Come on. And this is a really cool week for two reasons. One happened like a day or two after our last week's show, and unfortunately, Avatest.exe hit a fatal error and was corrupted and destroyed by Enigma.
Woo!
So Freya.
Our first Avatist takedown, and possibly because we only have 2 to 3 days as of this live show till we get Proto Games Initiative, that a guild is able to take down all of the bosses in Datascape.
So
I'm so glad they managed to do it, man.
right? Anyone else think that there's like a guild that's just like mad dashing 24 hours, like just no. We're gonna fucking do this.
It's not me. I will be number 2. Like, there's a few guilds that still have a ton of progress, and I'm fairly certain you're right. There's going to be a few guilds in the next 2 to 3 days, 2 days, that they are just balls to the wall trying to get everything down. And someone in chat said, yeah, they were online when it happened, and the spam was insane. I remember Reddit erupted. They gold plated the post.
Glitter everywhere.
Yeah, glitter explosion, and we had Freya on before. I just want to say, Freya, if you're listening, or anybody else from Enigma, congratulations, you guys.
Yeah, seriously.
I can't even attune, and you can get through content that is very specifically being changed so that people can get through the. You win. You win all the internet. Here you go.
If we were able to get through attunement to try out for Enigma, we haven't been able to. Anyway,
But you can't keep saying that on the podcast, because if they listen to that, they're gonna be like, "Wow, they can't attune." No, wow, get out of here.
Anyway, they said that this is probably going to be the only guild to take down Avatist before the change. For the next patch change is 40 to 20 man. They even showed off a few things. There's a really cool picture we're gonna put on. It was a few things that came out of that stream, I should say. Let me reiterate myself. One, we got a kill screen. We got a kill screen with a little bit of lore spoilers, so we'll put that link there in the description. Click at your own risk if you're interested in that. We even got a chance to look at the new Avatist mount from that, which is the Data Drifter, which is really, really, really cool. Oh my god.
Someone's excited about it.
I normally am very adverse to a lot of the Elden architecture. Just for some reason, the gold they have is really odd on my eyes. But actually seeing the silver or the chrome and the green, the Elden green on that thing is sick. So, congratulations once again to Enigma. You guys are gonna. I hope they have some kind of in-game recognition for it.
Absolutely, they deserve it 100%.
They should, and
easy.
I'm sure there's probably a title or something like that. But like when they change it to 20 man, they need to keep the 40 man separate from the 20 man. Like, I think that would add a whole nother level to it. I think that would be really
have their
awesome.
title be like
get rid of
40
the
man brigade or something.
Yeah.
Don't use my ideas, please. Come up with cool ones.
So we're going to jump into the next big thing, and I'm going to call it. I called it on the recap when we put up the recap for the Nexus report, and so did Baz. He also called it as well. February 3rd is in 2 days, and that is officially when the Proto Games Initiative goes into your launcher and ready to install. And it's going to be...
Whoa, wait. I'm sorry. Who all called it?
I did. I wrote the recap.
I know, but who said that it was going to be right before Valentine's Day?
Yes, you did. You did, Indigo. You did say right before Valentine's Day, but I had an actual date, and I was hell yeah. Everything came out at the time.
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing?
I was analyzed to Valentine's Day.
Enough that people will still be distracted with new content to not be upset that they're missing a Valentine's Day.
Anyways, eating a data price.
I'm gonna be on. I'm gonna be on drop 4 come Valentine's Day. Oh, anyway,
I will too. So
Same here, man.
you two are in positively loving relationships where you can just go, babe, can I just get a pizza or something and a beer? I'm just gonna sit there and play tonight, and I'll like call you afterwards.
I legitimately asked my girlfriend, I said, so are we doing anything for Valentine's? She's like, we haven't for the last 3 years. And I was like, but that doesn't mean you don't want to. And she's like, nah. I'm pretty sure the only time we ever did anything for Valentine's, we went to a bar with our coworkers and then proceeded to be very sad that the one guy from our job that lived inside of an ice cream truck was...
Why are you telling the story?
Was out on a date and we weren't.
I almost fell out of my chair.
This is video games time now, and you're telling something about that. No, stop.
That's the end of my story. That's the end of that was the end.
Stop that.
So, interestingly enough, we haven't seen any dev speaks. We haven't seen any deep dive web stuff. We haven't seen anything really. So I'm a little curious as to why that drop 4 has gotten so little public fanfare compared to the last 3 drops. What do you guys think?
I want a dev speak is what I think.
No, I don't want a dev speak. I want a protostar speak.
Whatever. As long as I want a video about it that like is funny, because that's what the dev speaks were. A video about the update that is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it, Fusspot. Do you have an opinion on it?
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome, but at the same time, you know, I'm wondering if maybe they're just, you know, putting all their effort where it matters.
Fair
I mean,
point,
the videos are great and all. I love them to death. I really miss them, but I'd much rather see all that effort go toward the game itself.
That's a fair point. I mean, I don't know like what the division of labor is there, but if that would detract from the actual development of content, I would prefer them just develop content and like
just have a simple patch.
But I have these people for funny things.
Well, I mean, there is a separate team that's dedicated to those videos. So I mean, unless again, I can't speak for Inside a Carbine or how that works, but I think it would be really nice to have the dev videos. I know that even without the dev videos or the videos in general for this drop, there has been a huge influx of players. Like,
Okay, I've been waiting to say this, and
You've been so excited all week.
So there's a phrase going on the forums. It's been going on for a few months, and I was tolerating it because they had a little bit of truth behind it when they put facts and they put things they've noticed and seen. They like to call it, "That game is dead. That game is dead. That game is dead." Oh my god.
Calm down with your accents that sound weird.
Here's the thing. If the dead game is dead, we wouldn't have all the forum posts and all the Reddit posts asking people, hey, I'm new to the game, or I'm coming back after hiatus. I would like to, get it back into this. Are there any guilds? Are there any circles? What kind of role should I really work on for dungeons and raids? You wouldn't see the return of Wildstar Core. You wouldn't see Wildcast going back and putting out more content because we really miss those guys putting out more content. You wouldn't see people like Jazzy Gaming coming back into it. Dead Game is Dead can suck my nuts.
Hold on. Not only that,
Skadoosh.
but the forums, their support line has been so slammed that the return time on it has, like, in some cases gone up to 72 hours because they've had so many people trying to deal with getting back in the game, the fact that they don't have the phone for this 2-step authentication, all this other stuff. This is awesome. I love it.
It's incredible. I'm so jazzed to see this.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's not... I'm not trying to... I know we probably all aren't trying to say it's a massive influx of players. It is a nice, steady influx that has been happening since Drop 3. People outside of the game are looking at the game again. People that have left the game are looking at the game with a closer eye and going, oh, okay, well, I've seen my issues and have my gripes, but it's worth coming back. So I just love it. And the fact that we even got a little bit of love, like all of us as a general group, Pappy on Twitter on Friday had straight up said, thank you to everybody who's been here as long as they have. And, I mean, it's kind of... it's a nice encompass everything.
I believe it was a #Follow Friday, and it was, for everyone that has stuck with us the entire time, you guys are badass. I believe is what he said. And then my response to him was, no, sir, you are badass.
All I knew was there's something in the water because I can't really leave.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Krug dropped out. We're gonna keep going,
back now. Krug's back now.
Damn.
Well, just audio.
Wow.
Yay.
Damn it.
Rude. Rude.
We were so close in to go.
But yeah, I mean, the fact that they're having influx of players. I mean, we've been seeing a tremendous amount of people. Are you gonna fix your video? Because it's bugging the hell out of me, Krug.
Oh, is it off? Sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't realize. You could have told me something.
His avatar is clean shaven, and yet it threw me for a loop when I saw him on screen clean shaven. I'm like, what the? What?
So huge influx of players, all of these new people coming in, Pappy coming out and saying that. I mean, I'm super excited, and I mean, it keeps me jazzed for STOS and the fact that we've moved over to live, you know. And it's like I was joking with you earlier, but I'm serious. I want to add STOS. We've been with you through thick and thin. Keep with us, like.
Wow. See, and I'm okay with that. I don't want it to sound like we've been here the whole time. That means our opinions are super valid because
Oh God,
No.
That starts tomorrow. That's way better at this than we are. But I mean, I just like the game and I like doing a podcast.
Well, and something that I talked to our advertising manager, I should say. I don't know the official title, but was we want to make sure that there is competition against like Q Times and STOS and making sure that those are out there, because without competition we don't upgrade. We don't manipulate.
When there's no competition.
Yeah, exactly.
It's friendly competition.
Exactly.
I mean, it's all one good community,
and
it pushes each other to get better and better.
And I mean, hey, I've reached out to Avid Guru, and I believe Avid Guru has accepted our invitation to come onto the show as a guest. So, I mean, we're definitely want to be supportive of the community, but I still want to just do a little poke. That was my one poke, and I'm done. That was my one poke, and I'm done. All right.
It's like a shot across the bow, like a pea shooter.
Anyways, keep going. I've distracted
Sticking with
us
the
enough.
Proto Games theme, the Arc ship has data mined some more Proto Game stuff. In fact, they data mined Ultimate Proto Games weapons. We're gonna put the link in the description. I'll put it in as well. And to be honest, I have never. It seems like it fits. For lack of a better phrase or word, the theme of the Protostar. He has really cool blue and orange. But everything has this kind of like Billy Mays here kind of style to it, with like the bold graphics and thunderbolts and
it at all. But okay.
it's the best part about it is the.
Are you saying that it looks like the OxyClean products?
Kind of. I mean, so going down the list, we have soccer claws.
Oh.
So you have some soccer claws that look like they're like hydraulics from like an alien, like the alien exosuit from Aliens. You got the heavy gun, which is all right. It's kind of cool looking. The color scheme, I think, personally saves it. The guns, I'm down already. I can't wait to dual wield those. And my personal favorite is the happy faces of death on the side blade and the resonators.
Beautiful. I love the happy faces. This is a really nice change from purple and gold. I really like this blue-orange thing.
They went to the extreme, the other side of the color spectrum.
Which
really nice.
I'm completely cool with, because I'm hoping that means we're going to get a lot more blue and yellow like costumes. Like, I know we've showed off the costumes before.
Dye system.
Yeah, well, I understand the dye system exists, but the colors that I want don't. So.
I actually really like the resonators a lot because they don't look like typical resonators we've seen so far. They look like a Nerf gun, like a Nerf Uzi, with a happy face of death on the front.
They do, really.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. And the warrior sword, that's the oddest one of the bunch. It looks more like, I mean, I don't know.
Like a syringe.
Kind of,
It
but it looks
doesn't
like
look
it
like
has
a syringe.
It looks like it has the very top like a conductor.
It looks like the thing that you squeeze frosting out of onto a cake. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
The animation looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let the animation.
Do you know what? Honestly, do you know what it kind of reminds me of? And again, this is not me beating a dead horse, so Krug, don't even speak. But it kind of looks like the sword that was being shown off for the Shades Eve stuff.
A little bit.
Yeah, where it was like it had the needle. Like the needle. Krug, first of all, even if your mic is muted, I know you're not actually saying it. You're just doing the.
No, I was actually saying stuff.
It's the weirdest thing. It doesn't look like a sword at all. What I would assume is that it has some kind of electrical field that's generated around it. So it's almost like a stun baton.
Someone in chat said pogo stick. I'm changing my answer to pogo stick.
Can we make that a pogo stick? Oh, it'd be sick.
Hold on.
It's it's actually not a weapon.
Now it's a pogo stick.
it's a new mount confirmed.
Flying mount confirmed, pogo
Absolutely
stick.
confirmed. Disclaimer by STOS. Thank you very much.
You and your damn freaking warnings.
As he says the big game's name like 3 times in the podcast somewhere around there.
I said it one time at the very beginning, and I haven't said it since. Sports ball.
Honestly, no one's really watching the game for the game. We're watching to see who wins the bet between both Chris's.
I don't know what that means, but okay, cool.
Oh my god, I'll tell you after
He
podcast.
doesn't follow any sort of.
He doesn't follow sports or TV or music. What do you do for fun?
Shave his face.
Shave my face. And my chest. Do you guys want to see?
No,
No, I'm kidding.
Nope.
No, that'll get us banned from Twitch. Onwards! Yay! Next topic.
Okay, and the big one of the week, we had a earlier post from Donatelli that outlined the general flow of 2015. Today we got, or a few days ago I should say, we got a general flow of 2015 on the PvP side from the WildStar team. And there's a lot to it. We'll put the link in the description, we'll put the link in the show notes and everything else like that so you can follow along with this if you'd like. First and foremost, this is not a complete list of what's going on in 2015, and we're kind of going over bullet points, which is almost the whole thing. It's a lot to cover, some really cool stuff, and some opinions are going to probably fly here and there. Now, first off, the biggest features that are coming in PvP are going to be dailies, weeklies, and random queue bonuses.
Woo!
That noise you just heard was Indigo having just a joy aneurysm.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot of content.
The reason that makes me excited, can anyone tell me why that makes me so excited?
It makes you able to level as a PvP player.
It makes it because that means that I'm right. I called that shit.
Calm down.
I'm still on a runner's high, so F off. All right.
Okay.
I'm waiting for like 5 minutes from now. He's just like, yeah.
I honestly was.
He just passed his out.
I was honestly.
This is so.
I was honestly expecting to fall asleep while on the podcast or on the live stream. No joke. I'm like. All right.
Like, I shouldn't do what Doc did the first time we did the live stream and chug a fucking cup of beer. Or chug a coffee, I mean. I did have a beer earlier today. It felt good. Anyway, yeah. So dailies, weeklies, and random queues. The idea is to give extra incentive for PvP and to get you to attempt to level through PvP. The attempt to level is going to be interesting because we want to see how many people are actually queuing. That's going to be the interesting one. One of my personal favorites is coming later. Obviously, we're going to transition from Season 1 to Season 2. And we're going to see adjustments on gear and systems and stuff like that in between before Season 2 fully occurs. But same faction battlegrounds. Not
Yes.
same faction arenas,
Yes.
same
Yes.
faction battlegrounds.
Something Indigo got wrong.
Yes.
I did not get it wrong. I disagreed with it. There's a difference.
I'm
Really? You
excited to
disagree
see
with
how.
same faction battlegrounds?
Okay,
We talked
so
about this last time, guys.
So yeah, we talked about it last week. The conversation I had was I was against there being exile versus exile with one Dominion on that team. But if it was 10 exile and 10 exile against each other, or 10 Dominion, 10 Dominion, I'm completely cool with that. The problem I had was mixing in Dominion in there, where it was like, hey, there's 19 exiles and one Dominion in here. I have a problem with that because it confuses me. Because why doesn't everyone just
That
attack the
wouldn't
one
make
Dominion?
any sense.
I know, and that's what I said last week, and you disagree.
I disagree that it ever actually happened.
I'm gonna hold this so that I don't punch you
you're
in the
going
face.
You're just going to stroke it very softly.
Oh my goodness! I
Happy,
wish she didn't
happy
have
Razdauer. Happy
Okay,
Razdauer.
all right.
Anyway.
So I'm super excited for contracts. I want to know what those are.
Yes, they're introducing PvP contracts, a distinct difference from normal contracts. The idea is to make it fast, rewarding, and fun. Quote. They don't have any information for it though. They are going to expand upon it in future updates.
They've been talking about contracts for a super long time and just saying like, "Hey, contracts are a thing that's going to exist eventually."
You weren't
And
even saying
everyone's like,
you would-
"What are contracts?" And they're like, "We're not going to tell you."
It's like a random word tucked into a corner of an article.
It
It's
feels
always like it has like a bullet next to it, and it just says contracts. And
it
you're like,
feels like it's been there since drop 2.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
for a long time. I really want to know what that is.
And they're going to be like, and contracts will be explained in drop 16. All right.
We feel like it. We're going to have some changes to gear. Blue gear is now going to be achieved with gold instead of prestige.
Yes.
Meaning when you
that
are
is,
level
I never even thought of that change, but that is really smart. Like,
Exactly.
you don't have to go into PvP to get PvP stuff. Here's your PvP stuff. Go start PvP.
Yeah, so you're not instantly, you don't have as far of a mountain to climb. You can kind of start off and go, yeah, I won't die in 2 hits like I'm currently doing in PvP.
Yes.
You can get your...
That's because you're bad.
No, there's besides the point. Let's
What?
just not get into that.
Okay.
It's just to have a level playing field. Oh, and another gold sink. So we're just not going to play with
See,
that.
I'm not 100% sure how I feel about this because I've played other MMOs that have kind of not done this specifically, but they've done another thing where they allow crafters to create PvP gear. And so what ends up happening is it creates the market for for crafters to push and get that gear at top tier and be able to make that to then turn around and put it on the auction house. And then people buy full sets of your cloth or your leather or whatever, and then that puts the money back into the flow of the game, so that other people can buy things. So I'm kind of tottering. Like, I'm cool with it because I'm happy that Doc's not going to get his face completely smashed in, but he's still going to get his face smashed in because there is a new tier of gear.
Yeah.
So
Honestly, I think these changes, they aren't set in stone. It's going to be stuff to help, and like what someone in the chat said, it's going to help in getting people back into the PvP scene of the game, and it doesn't have to be just the status quo from now on. It could change in the evolution when they realize, hey, we're starting to get a healthy PvP population, we're starting to get people who are getting into the intricacies of it and the meta of it. Now we're going to change it up a little bit. So here's some more stuff going on. There's new prestige purchases. All the rating requirements are removed from all PvP gear. So you're just going to have to save up prestige if you want what's considered an equivalent 1800 gear currently. And you're going to be able to get possibly a full set of amps and ability points solely through PvP, another incentive to level PvP.
Another thing Indigo called just before he says it.
Yeah, he did. Dude, you're on a roll with that stuff. Jesus Christ. And here's something that a few of us might not agree with, and
which we had this conversation
a little before then, and we're talking about gear normalization and instance PvP. So we're going to be doing a rallying system coming in this year. The idea is they're going to rally all players to the same item level, concurrent with the 1800 gear. It's an equivalent if you want an estimation around there. So the idea is that PvP gear will have the upper hand in equivalent PvE gear. So there's been an issue right now where legendaries, people are coming in to PvP with legendary gear. It's giving them a distinct advantage. Even with all the PvP power you want and have and PvP defense, that guy's gone through Datascape. He's got that orange. He's wrecking people. And what they're basically saying is, look, we're going to make sure that when you're in PvP, you're in their world now. You want to be able to challenge them, you got to get on their level. Legendary PvE gear will not be as strong, and PvP gear will have the upper hand.
So again, that's rallying down. They
Right.
they say everything rallies to 1800 gear, which means to me that gear that's lower is being moved up to 1800.
And that was the idea that I got from it when I first read it. But now I'm starting to think that everything's being rallied down, because when you do an instance like an adventure, or I think it's just adventures, and you're a higher level, you get rallied down to that instance's level, but you never get rallied up to that instance's level. So maybe rally is a term that they use for bring higher level or higher, or more experienced players down to the level of the content.
Okay.
So I don't think that it applies to lower level players. I think it only applies to, like you were saying, people that have Datascape gear will not be in that instance with Datascape stats.
And if that's the case, 100% down.
Yes.
If it's the other way where everything gets mashed into 1800, then what's the point of having PvP gear?
And I would personally say it's still useful to have that gear, because I don't think your gear is getting squashed in either instance. It's just the item level itself. And also, when you're at that level playing field, there will be a small advantages and disadvantages for each player in each class, what kind of gear they have on, but it really does come down to skill. You have to communicate with your team. You have to do pings. If they have pings in this game, they should. I remember or not. You need to be able to coordinate. If you guys are all roughly in the same playing field, that's what's going to separate the better team when you're doing instance PvP. And I think that should be rewarding in and of itself.
So you know how everyone keeps saying, oh, the gear level between 1800 and was it 1500 or I can't remember. Like, do you feel that a large portion of the reason why people are saying that there's a gear gap as well as like specific classes are more powerful is because that in WildStar there's a lot of player-based skill that's required versus other MMOs where it's just like you go in and it's a specific rotation. And this it's a specific rotation and alignment and speed and being able to associate a moment very specifically. While in, like, say, World of Warcraft, there is skill involved. I'm not going to say that it's a skillless game.
Sure.
But there isn't as much having to line things up or having to make sure that you're within a specific range. Like, and I'm curious if some of the complaints within WildStar's like balancing is just based off of player skill.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of articles that are not articles, but mostly forum posts that are like that. Like, when you're in WoW, when you're talking about like someone's rotation not being as good as it should be, it's really easy to just kind of look at logs and see when they pushed which buttons and how much damage it was doing to the other person, and kind of be like, that should be doing more damage. But WildStar, it's like, okay, you have to look at this person and when they pushed the buttons, and then this person and when it hit this person. And if it hit and how, like, what the percentage was of hit versus miss, because that's the player's fault. That's not the ability's fault. Unless it is the ability's fault and the telegraph's too small, like, there are way more things to balance around than other games, and it's way more likely that it's based off of skill and not numbers. Although I will admit there are some things in WildStar that are broken based off of numbers, but it's a different set of problems.
I think the numbers comes more into play. You're talking about arenas. I think the player mobility and that skill and that judgment calling comes more into play when you're doing battlegrounds and instances with your group.
I think it's everywhere. I don't think there's a part of WildStar that doesn't have that.
I think one's a little more than the other.
I don't do arenas, so...
Typically in arenas, you see a lot of players. There's less players in the battlegrounds. There's more people to focus on better. And the players that really go deep into arenas have pretty decent mechanics to begin with. They're not going to be sitting there with a charge shot that's going 5 meters wide to the left or right. They're normally pretty on the dot about it. So that's when you get the complaints of numbers and synergy between classes and whatnot. I think personally, you're talking about battlegrounds like, say, Walatiki or Daggerstone. You're talking more about, God, I can never hit with this class. That was my issue with my warrior. I'm always just personally out of melee range. And that's just more due to my own skill on a warrior at the moment than the numbers or anything else like that.
You should name your warrior out of melee range.
Sir Smashington does not miss on purpose often. But he misses.
He does. He misses being a spell slinger.
I personally think the combination of rallying and the blue gear changes is going to be a very big boon to PvP. Mm-hmm. And then once the population starts to replenish itself, then we can take a bigger look into the numbers and the other balancing. Get people in there first. We'll see what's changed, and then we're going to change accordingly. I think it's a pretty decent way to start going.
Absolutely.
And coming before the end of 2015, they're talking about getting new PvP gear bought with Prestige, obviously, imbuements as well. They're going to have similar rune slots to PvE gear, and gear most likely will be higher than the current equivalent rated 1800 gear. Mm-hmm.
Did you say before the end of 2014?
2015.
Okay, because I just wanted to make sure you didn't say 2014. Cause
no. We're a little late on that one.
We're a little late on that one.
They are talking about cosmetic gear based on your rating. It's going to be coming in possibly too. So if you do well, you're going to be able to show it off. I think it's worth it. She's like, oh god.
Oh god. She's like, really? You guys had me on the PvP episode? Seriously? No.
Actually, that's a good point. Are you more of a PvEer?
I'm a PvEer, definitely. I don't have the temper for PvP. I get really mad.
Yeah.
So I kind of.
That's most people I see in PvP. Maybe you're the right kind of person.
You should hear our PvP sessions.
Oh my god, no you don't. No you don't.
No, you should hear Bazile's PvP sessions.
No, so
Actually, I'm
crew.
more tempted to get
Love you
into
guys.
PvP after these updates.
You
So
see- let us know.
Boom!
Let us know.
Doing his job.
We will add you to the Q time. Is it Q times or STOS?
No, we actually have a Strange Tale community on
Yeah.
our Exile faction.
Yeah. So we have a circle that we've got going on. We'll add you because we randomly just be like, man, anyone want a PvP? Because I love PvPing.
Yeah,
Nice.
if you guys have a chance, if you look for Sir Smashington or Indigo Jones or Doc
With two N's because
Jesus Christ. It's
Indigo
almost-
Jones was taken by another player.
called Indigo Jones, there's a Strange Tales community on Entity Exile that we're setting up, and I think we have something as well on Dominion, but we've been playing a lot of Entity Exile lately. So that's the biggest. Those are all the biggest Strange Tales of the week. Now we brought Fusspot on because we wanted to talk a little bit about the art stuff. As our
Yay.
fanboy is off the screen looking at stuff.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm having to deal with a slight work emergency, so I was kind of looking down, reading my emails at the same
No
time.
problem.
Oh,
Sorry.
man.
So
for
Fuss,
shame.
we noticed that you do a ton of WildStar related art. Is this more something? So I have to ask because I don't really know that much about you as a professional. I do know you do work for a company, but I didn't know if you were doing more freelance stuff or you just kind of do it on the side.
Technically, I'm the art director for a small company in Chicago called Double Coupon Software. It's just a little teeny tiny indie outfit where we do a lot more experimental stuff. We've got projects in the cooker. A couple that we're close to release, but we haven't quite gotten them there yet. We've been shifting focus a lot the last couple of years. So it's nothing terribly substantial, but it was something I came into because I got sick of sitting around on my hands and doing absolutely nothing with my time.
Yeah,
And
I can't
I
imagine that.
And
Sorry.
I was too afraid to apply to some of the bigger places. So it was a good start.
So it's one of those things you just kind of got fed up and said, I'm just going to try it on my own and see what happens?
Pretty much. I was at a point where I didn't think I was quite good enough to go to a bigger studio. So I got a message from the CEO, and we a few of us got together and just started the startup, and it's kind of grown over the years to include
Nice.
bunch of animators, a bunch of other artists, a couple of writers. So it's a good time. It's again, I mean, we're not making any money off of it right now, but it's definitely a better use of my time than say sitting around and gaming all day.
I'd use that as an excuse to game all day. So I don't know if you're able to answer this question. You don't have to. You don't or don't feel like you can or want to. But are you guys? What platform are you guys currently working on?
Well, we were with our projects. We were shooting for multi-platform, and we were working on an isometric MMO actually that we've kind of backburnered for a little while, just because we're reconsidering our path at this point. It's a really difficult environment to release an MMO these days because there's so
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little while ago too. Just as different, just to each other, saying that it's just the field's an odd field to be in right now. You can't tell if it's as stable as it used to be, or if it's just simply the field is still there and you just have to monetize correctly. It's one of those weird debates and questions and whatnot. So an isometric MMO. I haven't seen those in a long time.
I don't know what that means.
RuneScape.
I was trying to find a place to ask what that means.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen games like Wakfu or RuneScape, stuff like that.
RuneScape.
Yeah, they're able to do the MMO portion properly. If you don't know what those two games, you've got Diablo, you've got Disgaea, you got a ton of just basically over like you're almost like God's eye view, bird's eye view of the field.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool. I'd love to see. Is there anywhere that I'm trying to think. Is there anywhere you guys display some art from some of your projects ongoing, like a developer's blog?
Right now our website is kind of undergoing an overhaul. But if you go to, let me put it in the chat here.
Yeah, definitely.
Type.
Any
Doubleclickon.com.
any information we have is up there. We also have a DeviantArt.
Oh, wow. That's really cool. And obviously, we will be putting all these links into the Doobly thing so that all the people's listening to the
Doobly
podcast
Doos.
can look at them. The Doobly Doos.
Constantly.
Doobly Doos.
Yeah. All the Doobly Doos all the time. So the question is, how did you... Oh, man. I'm having a hard time trying to talk like artist to artist because it's like there's no defined path in the way that artists do things. I'm just more amazed at the amount of work you put out, especially WildStar related. Are they mostly commission based, or do you kind of have like a theme in mind, or you just go, I'm just gonna draw?
A lot of it's commission based. I had a lot more time to do it because up until a couple of months ago, I actually had a retail job. And I went on vacation for a week. I came back and I was so utterly miserable because during the week I'd taken off, I did nothing but stream and do art and all that fun stuff. And it was so much better than standing up front and dealing with a bunch of angry customers. So I said, okay, screw it. A month from now, I'm going to take my second week and quit. And
That
I did
is some serious courage, because I had that same thing like a few months ago, and I'm like, or a few years ago, like I just never got around to it. So you do a lot of streaming. So obviously Twitch is more of a video game based thing. Is there a site that people go to watch you stream? Do you take donations for your stream or stuff like that?
I have a channel on Picardo.tv. Actually, it's a streaming site mainly for artwork.
Nice.
So
And-
they got all
Nice.
sorts of people on there, fan artists, concept artists, 3D artists, all sorts of shit. So.
I've never actually seen that site, Picarto.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. There's a stream site for everything nowadays. I have. Is there? Okay, this is. So for WildStar related stuff, do you kind of have a? Do you do a lot of narrative stuff as well on top of the commissions, or are there certain races you kind of prefer drawing than others? It's an odd question, but. Or
Well,
is there more requests for something over another as well?
well, personally, I really like drawing Draken. Orin, I kind of do because that's what everybody asks for. I get a lot of
Yep.
commissions, and a lot of people ask for their Orin. So
I
I'm just
saw that coming.
kind of used to drawing them, but Draken and Granok are definitely my two favorites. I haven't gotten to draw a Chua yet.
Really, no one's
kind-
asked?
Nobody has asked me for a Chua.
Huh. I
Which
legitimately
is-
thought some of your art also was honestly concept art for the game and stuff. And I'd seen some of the concept art, like you did your Avitus and your Draken Avitus. I'm like, what? Does Avitus like changing forms and stuff? It's
That'd be awesome, actually, but no.
would be cool. That would be pretty cool. So as an artist, where do you draw most of yours? Is the cliche picture, the cliche question. What are your influences? Tell me, please.
What are my
Like-
influences?
That's creepy.
Well,
'Cause I see a lot of there's a lot of I personally I think I see a little bit of the fun American style. You have some nice thick action body poses in there. Your figure art is phenomenal, by the way. I have to compliment you on that. Just
Thank you
in
very
general, your figures are so spot on, anatomically great, and we are a gaming stream, but this is our community here, and our community is a fan freaking phenomenal artist. And Indigo gets over the quality of the artwork, and I'm sitting there picking over like, oh my god, those shoulder blades. How did you? Wow! Like sitting there dissecting your art, like I want those Granok shoulder blades on my own. Like, can I just flex and do that? Oh my! But yeah, but where did you kind of grow up and get your influences from artistically?
oh God, I'm gonna. This is gonna be like the whole cliche. I'm in high school. I was into anime, and all I drew were the animes. And but honestly, as I kind of got out of that, I started taking a lot more influence from like I really, really like the guys at Creature Box. Corey Loftus, obviously, big influence. But back in as far as like Japanese artists, like Akihiko Yoshida is a really, really huge one. I just love the amount of detail he's able to get into his stuff without getting too neat about it.
What other series has he done? There's so many Japanese artists that I can never get
Uh,
names right.
Akihiko Yoshida is Final Fantasy XIV, Vagrant Story, Final Fantasy
Oh,
Tactics.
oh yeah! Holy crap! For some reason, I was thinking Full Metal Alchemist for a while there. I'm like, it's totally different artists in general. I had a big anime kick as well in high school.
Yeah, I just and back in high school, anything anime, I was drawing it, and I had a teacher in high school who I hated his guts at the time because he used to get up my ass about it. Like my senior year, in my senior year, he just straight up asked me, "Amy, when are you gonna stop drawing this anime shit?"
And start drawing the
Wow.
real art.
I
Yeah,
got
there's
so mad at
What a
him.
dick.
there's a weird disconnect in Western cultures where they think if you're not drawing a classical Western traditional style, think like Norman Rockwell or anything from like the Renaissance period, that it's just crap and it's a fad and it's never going to go anywhere. And why are you wasting your time and that kind of stuff? And it's weird as you watch generations change with that mentality. We're taking cues. There are a lot of great artists nowadays, and Fuss is I'm going to put you on that pedestal among great artists online that people need to see more that do this nice blend of this Western and Eastern philosophy and concepts of art and start matching them together and having those really expressive, emotive Eastern style faces along with the great musculature and whatnot that a lot of Western artists use. And that sounds kind of me like I'm pulling shit out of my ass, but I hope that makes some sense.
No, it makes total sense. I think as anime has become a little more normalized over here, there's a little less of an us versus them sort of mentality with people like, oh, if it's not anime, it's not good. No, screw that shit. Uh, I see a lot more blending as artists mature and they're getting a little smarter about how they're educating themselves instead of just drawing anime and not paying attention to their basics. I had that problem in high school where I was not
You're going for
I
the style over the substance.
exactly I was being defiant, like I'm gonna draw this anyway. I'm gonna be what I want to be, and the hell with you, man.
That's where you start getting these really fun art styles. I mean, honestly, looking at Carbine's art team, there's definitely this blend of like Chuck Jones with this like really crazy HR Giger stuff for the strain mixed in with a lot of these really expressive, almost anime style faces and the way the faces are constructed. I mean, Arin have a very big Eastern influence on them
Hmm.
compared to like the Granok, which are very Western looking, small eyes, stern, angular features. It's a nice little balance of the art, and I remember seeing a lot of that in your work as well. It's really fun watching an evolution of an artist. And as an artist for you, are you one of those kind of artists that just only kind of focuses on your own work and doesn't really delve into other artists, or do you kind of draw it from everything? You're like, oh, these guys here are awesome, and I want to take notes from these guys and how they approach art, and I want to see if I can throw it into my own.
Yeah, if I see work that I like, I try to investigate and see how they do it, definitely, because I the way I work now is completely different than how I worked, say, about a year ago, even. It's all a process. I'm constantly trying to improve my technique and figure out how best to do things, and a lot of that comes from research.
And what do you like? What kind of research are you talking about? More just anatomical stuff, subject art.
Well, anatomical stuff definitely. I've gotten kind of lazy in that respect, in that I used to like to do a little figure drawing every day just to keep in practice. But a lot more of it is just stylistic studies. Picking apart how I think they might have done something, and eventually incorporating the parts that I like into my work, and then just discarding what doesn't work with me.
Yeah, I remember reading. I remember we mentioned the anatomical art drawing every day. I think that's what a lot of people should really strive to do. Is it's in what you're right is basics over the style. It makes everything much stronger. Do you have any questions, crew? Because I'm kind of feel like I'm taking the whole thing there.
Honestly,
Damn it.
I'm thinking, no, I'm thinking right now to myself, man, I shouldn't even have a little screen here because I'm listening to this as though it was a podcast I was listening to, not a podcast that I'm a part of. It's really interesting to listen to you guys talk. So I just want you guys to keep talking because the questions I would have for you are things like, what's your favorite color? But that's...
Well, it used to be blue, now it's orange.
That kind of dumbs down the whole conversation, though. I don't...
There's no such thing as a bad question. It's
Actually,
honest.
It's a good question. I mean, my favorite color kind of shifted just with the type of work I've done. Really, I used to really love blue, and now I'm and purple and stuff like that. Now a lot of desaturated colors, and like lately I've really tried to incorporate a lot of bright shit. I used to hate pink, now I love it.
No, I still despise pink. Pink just gets really garish really fast for me for some reason. And
I'm just
colors.
going to point this out. Only a real artist could take a question that dumb and give an intelligent response to it. That was just like...
Because there's no such thing as dumb questions, and she put it in a way that makes sense.
And I just want to throw this out really quick for those people that are just joining us. You'll notice Creepy Skulls on Indigo's little panel there. He's off making a quick work call. There's kind of an emergency going on, so he's trying to help out with that. So please
He's
excuse his
angry right
absence. And whoa, okay, hi.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I had something and I lost it because you went on the Indigo tangent. Come on, man.
Let everyone know that he wasn't just dead, sitting on a shelf. That's what it looks like.
I know. I totally blanked out here. I feel so bad right now. I've blanked out on my mind. I'm just sitting there going, I had all these questions for her, and I wanted to kind of get into it. Oh, there's one I was thinking of. So a lot of your art is done digitally, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What is your gear right now? I have to ask. I'm just curious.
My gear right now, I use a Wacom Intuos 4 large, and what else as far as gear goes, because that's pretty much what I use.
And then actually, I was curious about that because are you focusing more on the tablet side, or I think Intuos is a tablet set, right? Instead of the tablet. I wish they differentiate these things better. Just like my Wacom tablet, my dead Wacom tablet. Are you using more of the Intuos like this guy, or are you using more of the actual tablets people use nowadays, the touchscreen tablets?
Oh, I gotcha. No, I'm using mostly use my Wacom, and of course I bought a Fujitsu Lifebook T5010 a while ago. The resolution isn't the greatest, however, I can't afford a Cintiq right now.
It's expensive.
They're so expensive. I mean, I wish I could just you stick my hand out and say, "Hey guys, give me money so I can buy the
You can.
nice
Patreon.
camera thingy." Yes,
Yeah.
I'm actually working on that, but yeah. So I mostly use the Lifebook for sketching just because I can't really create finished work on it. It's just too small.
And so you prefer just to do all your processes digitally instead of analog and then transporting?
Yeah, pretty much. I've got sketchbooks out the ass. You wouldn't believe how many sketchbooks I have that I just have not done anything in because just scanning them is such a pain in the ass. My scanner is at least 15 years old. The cord is it's ready to fall out. I've got to use special software just to get it to work with my PC. It's horrible.
Now, we have a question from chat, and I'm going to take one of those. I think I already did one before. Drunken Alchemy has asked, focus digital art only, but actually, if not, are there any other mediums that you prefer besides digital art?
I like to work with markers quite a lot. I don't have that many pieces up that I have done with markers, but it's fun. It kind of brings out the finicky sort of precision-oriented side of myself because I have to be really careful with those, or I wind up with a really junky-looking piece.
So, and then I have to ask, and this is me getting into like the art piece, artist side of me is, what when you're doing all your marker work, are you using a really toothy paper? For those who don't know, paper actually has a tooth quality to it. Your printer paper doesn't really have much of a tooth grip. It's really smooth and flat. And a lot of artists that use different mediums, like say marker or pencil or pen or color pencil, they will prefer different tooths and the quality of art. Like say my sketchbook right now, if you want to see some of my shitty ass sketches, you won't be able to see they're really dark. It's actually a really heavy cardstock, but it's got a little bit of a tooth on it. So if I get any marker marks on it, I'm going to end up grabbing and absorbing some of the ink.
Yeah.
So it'll end up fuzzing in. It's really hard to tell, but it'll end up like fuzzing into it. But at the same time, if I'm using a fine tooth pen, it'll end up it kind of like splotches out a little. It's really funky.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the fuzz. I actually I prefer paper. Well, that it goes two different ways. Like if I'm using pencil, I like toothy paper, but as far as markers go, I tend toward paper with a plate surface. It's completely flat. There's
And
no
Art
tooth
101.
whatsoever.
From Strange Tales from Outer Space, and someone asked in chat, what kind of markers do you prefer? I know a lot of people have a thing like I love Copic markers if I can afford them.
Yeah, if I could afford more Copics, I would definitely use those. Simply because you can replace everything on them. It's a big investment, but they last so much longer.
Yeah.
But Prismacolors actually aren't too bad. I like their grayscale markers quite a lot.
Really? I've had difficulty in like a lot of their grays tend to be feeling kind of bluish for some reason to me.
It depends. It depends on whether you use the warm or cool ones.
That's actually a fair point. I've got a set of grays to blacks in Copic, and I've got 2 or 3 refills for some of the darker ones. I use those a lot. And you're right. It's like $7 a pop for the marker, and it's like 10 for the refill. But it lasts you four or five charges essentially. And is it Copic or Copic? I can never figure that part out.
I say Copic. A lot of people say Copic. You know, it's. I mean, if you're.
It's the preference thing, huh?
If you're gonna, if you're gonna go the whole Japanese pronunciation snob route, I guess it's probably Copic.
Copic.
Copic. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, kawaii desu ne. Like, oh my God, shut up.
Please stop. Please stop.
Indigo, do you have any questions for our guest? Or are you still silent because of phone calls? I can't hear you at all.
I am muted because I'm a moron.
I even wrote that to you while you were talking.
I know. No, I was saying my camera is not frozen. I have just glossed over this entire conversation because I don't know anything about any of that you just said. I just like your stuff because it's purty.
That's the only. He really wanted to have you on to spend an hour just going, "Oh my God, it's so pretty. Oh my God." It's so
I mean, honestly, like the thing that you've done that I really like is when you do the fast forward drawing stuff, like, and you after recording it, you do like the fast. I really love that because it's like. It's so funny to me not funny to me. It's so amazing to me to watch like literally a blank screen and then turn into something that is, to me, it looks like painting quality. Like just like it's got so much detail and it's just you start with a pencil and you move all the way up and it's fucking beautiful and I love it. I really do and I am very grateful for Moose for introducing me to your stuff. I really enjoy it, and I don't know, and I apologize because I was gone for this large part of the conversation. So if I ask any questions that has already been said, just say shut the fuck up.
Don't ask what her favorite color is. I got that on lock.
Let me ask. Did you ask that one?
Yeah, he did, and she
did.
read it.
Anyway, no. Where? I mean, I know that you do a lot of WildStar. I saw that you were doing a lot of. I saw some Night Elves and Blood Elves and Night Elves. Where do you feel that you pull most of your like ideas from? Like where? I mean, a lot of that stuff is gaming wise, but do you have a different side selection that only you work on that you really love? And like, where do you pull your that from? If any of that made sense, or if I was just gooing out, just like
I think it's another kind of influence thing. Were you a WoW player beforehand?
Not necessarily influence. I mean, where do you like? how's this? What is the most favorite thing that you like to draw?
Most favorite thing that I like to draw. That's a good question because I like to draw a lot of stuff actually. uh, well, I've got a lot of sketches I just haven't posted. I like drawing birds an awful lot just 'cause it's a hobby of mine. I have three that I keep as pets, so that's a big thing. I like drawing people. I've got ideas in my head that stories that I've had cooking for a while that just haven't gone anywhere. I like trying to illustrate those just for shits and giggles, you know.
Now, are you working on any sequential art and comic book stuff, or are you simply just doing splashes and single images and stuff like that?
Mostly single images. Once in a while I'll dabble with a comic, but it's nothing I've really explored to any extent, just because I don't know that I really have the sort of compositional sense to actually put together good comic pages, because I'm really picky about that. Like if I can't do it really well, I'm just not gonna do it.
Now,
I've wanted to do a comic for a while. It takes so much planning.
yeah, are there any writers you want to work with, or is that people have approached you for it, or you just kind of like thinking, oh, I can just kind of do this on my own for a little bit?
I haven't really thought of working with writers. I mean, if I do something, it'll probably just be a small project by myself. Just because I've got so much stuff going on that if I work with a writer, I'm gonna have to stick with a schedule and
True.
this and that and the other.
You could always do little slices of life around Nexus.
That's very true. I've a couple of my friends have actually poked me and said you should do this. You should because I'm an avid role player. I've actually written oh god, it's got to be like 100 or more pages of journals for my one character.
Wow. Have you done any role playing in game, or you just trying to do all that strictly from other pen and paper stuff?
I do a lot of role playing in game with my friends. I'm part of a guild exile side called Scar Corporation. It's we've had a lot of events and it's been really fun.
What do you
Scar
play?
Corporation?
I may have missed that. What do you play?
I play an exile human engineer.
Oh, okay.
Engineer, never a spell slinger.
Well, my main Dominion side is a Draken spellslinger, and he's so whatever.
No. I believe I've seen a couple drawings of an engineer. Do you like to draw your engineer?
Yeah, that's sometimes I'll make little illustrations to go along with her journal. She's the main character I've been drawing on my own time lately. So once in a while I'll draw my slinger, but it's mostly her.
Sure.
So I know we're kind of slowly winding down on time, but a big question I always like asking other artists, and it's another kind of cliche question, but I always like to see other people's opinions on it. It's, what are your opinions on improving as an artist, whether you've been drawing for 20 years or you've been drawing for a few months? And are there any resources that you like to use that you can recommend to people as well?
Well, as far as improvement, it's mainly for me it's a matter of drawing every day, challenging yourself, trying other styles, not getting comfortable. I don't really have a whole ton of resources that I use except for criminally, 1 second, there's this one site I use. It's basically a virtual figure drawing class.
Oh, I have one of those as well. I think I have it here. Let me keep going and look for it as well. There's
Yeah,
a few of them, a few of them that are really awesome. They set up like class schedules. You can set them up to like 30-second sketches or minute-long poses. I think I use the same one as well. Artist at Pixel Lovely.
Yeah.
Yes, I do use that one. That one's insane because they give you animals as well as nude and clothing.
Exactly. It's incredible. I just more than anything, just practicing and making sure you draw at least something every day is the biggest way anybody can improve. and listening to critique from people actually actively seeking out opinions from not just other artists, but even people who are not artists, because they have valuable input. Because everybody looks at things, everybody looks at people every day, and if something's not right, they're going to tell you.
Now, I don't know if you ran into this. I'm assuming you actually finished your education for being an art professional. I've done a few years of college, and I've had those issues where I was trying to take it really seriously. So when they would do all these gathers and meets and critiques, I'd look at my own piece as harshly as I'd look at other people's pieces, and never in an evil way, like, oh, your work sucks ass and blah blah. It's more like, look, your composition starts off really strong, but this is really odd here personally. I didn't know what you're going for, this and that, and I try to like really give critique, and then I had this point where we were doing 2D design or something like that years and years ago, and I was trying to be really helpful and trying to be as polite as a kid about it. And I do the same thing to my own artwork when I come around to it. And everyone thought I was a massive tool.
Well,
massive. They're like, God, why is he always so mean about our pieces? And the teacher would go, he's not being mean. You guys have to realize that he's trying to help you and himself as well. But then whenever they got to my piece, they would rip it to shreds and never be nice about it. And I would just sit there.
Oh man, that blows. Really. Oh, one of the most harmful things you can do to yourself as an artist is to crawl up your own ass and not listen to anybody.
Yes, this is Jake.
Nice.
Oh man. With that missing the mute button.
This should be like a do not disturb thing on his phone. But yeah, it's just
no, he has to take that call.
When you're doing stuff for work, do you guys typically get a roundtable going on as well and look through pieces, not just on a piece-by-piece basis, but also for like your projects you're working on?
We try to. We're not in a proper studio environment right now. We're all remote, but a lot of the time it's just, you know, I'll look over what the other artists in the department are doing, and, you know, offer opinions and run things back and forth.
Okay.
So it's not so much like, say, a proper art department at a bigger studio. We kind of do what we can to go back and forth and try to pick out, you know, the best stuff. Try to offer opinions on how things can go better. Or if something just isn't working, say, okay, you know, put this down, start over, you know, quit fighting with it.
Yeah, I just give a lot of props to you guys able to do stuff like that on a small team scale, and I think actually we're gonna start wrapping it up here just in a moment, because we're getting a bunch of phone calls from work and everything else like that.
Yeah.
We do have a question in chat. Master3786, what's the next raid? If I knew, I wouldn't tell you.
Oh wow, rude, rude.
If I knew, I still wouldn't tell you.
Don't you know he's human too?
Oh, he is being human. But if you're gonna ask me a question like that, if I knew the answer, I wouldn't tell you. In fact, we know there is a raid coming and an adventure coming. Donatelli did spill that on the Nexus report, and we have a recap of it with those notes saying there is no explanation on what it is, though. I really wish I could give you more information on that, but if I did, and if I did know it, I'd be breaking an NDA, and I'd be making a lot of enemies. You really don't want that. It's not worth it. Master, as soon as we know, we will let guys like you know.
If we knew and we could tell people, we would.
Oh, hell yeah. In a heartbeat. If we hadn't...
We don't even know. We can't tell anyone, because we don't know.
It's like I said, man, if we knew the theme, if we knew the theme, we got the okay for it, we would tell you, but none of us work for Carbine. We can't give you any hints if we knew. If we knew, man. I know the same questions you're asking are the questions I want.
I actually think I do know the theme for the next raid. I think it's grilled cheese sandwich. I'm 90% sure it's grilled cheese sandwich. I think the final boss is a grilled cheese sandwich that
drops as a space taco truck.
I should have made it about food. That made it too easy for you to go into the realm of space taco truck.
The veggies in this game are sentient. It could happen.
Well,
there you go, Master. It is drop 5, Veggie Uprising.
Oh shit!
You can imagine the warrior sword being a giant carrot with like a smiley face on it. You hit it, it's like ow, ow, ow.
The resonators are toasters. Oh wait, Nah, I get it, because I was already
5
saying
cat
that.
herding.
That would be also a raid in there, cat herding. That would be one of the challenges. In order to 20-man completion, you have to herd these cats through this thing. So, like I said, man, if we knew anything, I would be all up to tell you. I'm not trying to downplay your questions; they are legit questions. You're gonna have to keep tuning in every week, and as soon as we do know, so we'll have an idea for raid theme is a battle out in the Ichthian ship. Ichthian ship. I don't know what your hints are. I don't know if that's a hint or not. Ichthians do have to come back, though. I think it could be Ichthians, the Marauders, the Lops, like they all have much bigger stories to tell in this game, and it'd be interesting to see when they show back up again in the world of Nexus.
Okay, I would pay so much money for a carrot sword. Just saying.
Oh, I would love little rutabaga pistols. That, like every time you fire, the little sprigs would just fly around your hand.
Oh yes.
The animation team would be like, God, I hate you guys. Why are you making me have to do this every time?
Y'all are weird.
Hey, you left for work, man. We're just doing what we can. He asked a question, and instead of patronizing him, I gave him an answer. I don't know.
I heard the first answer was very patronizing.
It was super patronizing. That's why I was trying to retract it for him, and he was just like, "No."
So I think
patronizing.
since we've already done what we said we wouldn't do, which is we answer questions from the live stream. While on the podcast / the video, why don't we take this opportunity to end the live stream / the podcast, and then we will stay around continuing to answer questions. And Fusspot, please feel free to stay with us as long as you would like.
Very well.
Indigo, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Indigo Jones QT. You can also find me on the official forums as Indigo Jones. You can also find me running the STOS Facebook page as well as the Q Times Facebook page. I will tell you, the Q Times Facebook page updates way more often than the STOS one does. But still, please come join. Go on there, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You'll see all of our newest content, WildStar and other related. So I hope to see you guys there.
Yeah, and Master, if we did find out about it, you're gonna find it on Q Times.
That's QUEUETIMES.com.
It also says it in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, and Krug,
Oh, it
where can we
does.
find you?
You can find me on Twitter at strange_tales. That's actually changing soon. We're actually creating a Q Times Twitter that I'm going to be taken care of, and the Strange Tales Twitter is just going to turn into Krug. So that's going to be my personal Twitter after. I think we're going to wait for a little bit longer before we do that, but I'm just going to let everybody know now. Don't freak out when there's a random person named Krug in the list of people that you follow.
Oh, snap.
But for now, I am strange_tales on Twitter. I'm also Krug QT, STOS_Krug on Reddit. This is why we edit our podcast, because I'm bad at remembering my usernames across multiple platforms. You can also reach me by email at krug@qtimes.com. It's weird because I said at and then I said at again, so I was like, wait, did I already say at? So my email address is krug@qtimes.com.
And Fusspot, where can we find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at Fusspot. You can also find me on Tumblr, the Fusspot, because some jerk, I don't know, they're squatting on Fusspot, and it makes me sad.
Lame.
Moose, I blame you.
And then also we can see your work at
Damn it,
Fusspot
Moose.
at dbnot.com as well, I believe.
Yeah.
And then also double coupon for any future game stuff you do as well, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. And for me, Doc, you can find me qtimes.com. I put up the podcast. I go on Reddit under Holomosh. You can find me Twitter. Oh my god. You can find me on Twitter at DocQT. And for this week, episode 30.
Wait, we have one more page that we have to talk about.
Oh yes, and a very important page.
The most important page, which is Q Times / with Tumblr.com, who our very own Das Moose runs and controls.
qtimes.tumblr.com.
Whatever.
Times.tumblr.com.
Yes.
Moose, do me a favor and put it in the chat.
Anyway,
Do it,
as for
Do it.
Strange Tales Matter Space Live, episode 30, My name is Doc, and I have with me Indigo, who's on the phone with somebody, and Krug.
I'm Krug, and I'm also saying bye from Indigo. I'm Indigo, bye.
And thank you once again, Fusspot, for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
And that's signing off for this week. And we are done with the live stream portion. So, Master...
Nope, done with the podcast
Done with
portion.
the podcast.